So I'll be dealing with the Constitution of India, its salient features, and Indian polity in specific in a series of lectures. And in the beginning, we'll discuss certain basic terms which are very necessary and relevant in the present context. Let's begin with the definition of state. What is state? What are the essential ingredients of state? So in a state, what is required prima facie is a territory. There has to be a geographically defined boundary जहाँ पर लोग रहते हैं, wherein people reside. So if we have territory, we have people, we have a government which is independent and sovereign, who is governing those people. That would ultimately amount to a state. So a state is nothing but an entity which has a defined boundary wherein people reside and are being governed by a sovereign independent government. But then what is a nation? Nation is not a political entity. Nation has a sense of belongingness. There's a sense of emotion attached to it. Therefore, when we define nationalism, so see, whenever there's an ism attached to a term, ISM, it becomes an ideology, it becomes a philosophy. So if we try to define nationalism, nationalism kya hai? So nationalism is an ideology, it's a feeling which has inherent in it the feeling of a nation's past glories and its future potentialities. When the nation's past glories and future potentialities are inherent in a feeling, that feeling is called nationalism. Now, हम रोज बहुत सी टर्म्स सुनते हैं जिनकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है इन द प्रेजेंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट अदरवाइज. डेमोक्रेसी. नाउ व्हाट इज अ डेमोक्रेसी? हम स्कूल बुक्स में बहुत टाइम से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं दैट अ गवर्नमेंट बाय द पीपल, फॉर द पीपल, ऑफ द पीपल. So we go back to trace the roots of the word democracy. They can be traced back to the Greek origin. Two words, that is demos and kratis, people's rule. But if we go into the ambit and the scope of the term democracy, so democracy kya hai? You see, the very essence of human existence is the essence of being free. And the very essence of being free is always proportional to the essence of making choice. So democracy is nothing but the essence of being free. The essence of being liberal and free to the extent that we make free choice. The degree of choice is to the optimum. Now, if we are saying choice, let us consider. Let's take the example of elections. Are elections sufficient for a country to be known as a democratic country? The answer is no. The elections are not sufficient, but they are necessary. I'll give you examples. Take the case of China. So in China, there's a party called the Communist Party. If one has to represent the people and one has to participate in the election process, he has to be aligned to this communist ideology to participate in the process. Therefore, the element of choice of the people of that nation, the element of choice gets depleted. It gets degraded. Hence, it's not a democracy, of course. Take the example of Mexico. In Mexico, there's a party called PRI. There's multi-party system in Mexico. In Mexico, there's a party called PRI. So these teachers and officers attend the party meetings of that particular party. Therefore, again, the influence is of such nature that the element of choice is diluted. So if the element of choice is diluted, the degree of freedom of choice definitely gets diluted. And hence, it's not justifiable or coherent with the term called democracy in the true essence. So we are lucky to be born in India. It's a nation which has a representative democracy. It's a nation wherein the ballot has substituted the bullet. And if we may consider, we may not only be the largest democracy of the world, but we are also close to something called as the ideal democracy. Now, what is a constitution? The constitution to any nation is a set of basic rules which are very much relevant and supreme and also enforceable to an extent. But is constitution enough? No. Constitution is also supported by detailed laws, regulations, statutes which are also to be in coherence with the constitution. Now, who will make those laws, those regulations is also defined in the constitution itself. So it is a set of basic rules. It's a sort of power map which lays down as to who will make the laws, to what extent these laws will be enforceable, and all laws have to be in coherence with the constitution.